All right. I want to welcome everybody. I want to first and foremost thank everybody for all your support over the years. It's that time of the year. I feel very blessed to be able to convey information to you. And as we head into 2023, this is the holiday season. This is where, as we start to transition over into the new year, a lot of news, a lot of things going on. But my purpose has been to really, if I can educate you, help you have a sense of comfort along the way, then I think my job is accomplished. So today's topic is, how to have a stress-free retirement. And if you're on this call, at some point in time, you're probably going to be retired or retiring soon. And we want to make sure that you have some insights as to, how to not lay in bed at night staring at the ceiling, wondering if everything's going to be okay. So to help give you assurances that there are things that you can and probably should be doing and taking advantage of, and I'm going to be introducing some new technology. So without further ado, we'll get started. So first, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. And as I've done workshops, classes, Rutgers, when I was doing the educational courses, retirement classes up at their business school, I would poll the audience, and I just looked up, Forbes has it listed as one of the top concerns is the greatest fear of people heading into retirement or recently heading into retirement is that almost half of Americans worry they won't have enough money to see them through retirement, according to a 2019 survey. And this is an understandable fear when you consider that 40% of Americans have less than $5,000 in retirement savings. I mean, that's alarming, right? And if you're on this call, chances are you probably don't fit into that category, but you're going to see over time, a lot of people do fall into that category, right? And then Social Security's future keeps growing increasingly uncertain, and then people are living longer than they ever have before. Right. So that's why that fear, and that's why that uncomfortableness, and that's why we delay, is because we don't want to get to this point at the, that end of life stage where we're, all those horrible images that we've seen over the years. So another survey, but this is a fact, in a survey of 1,000 retirement savers, was conducted by Charles Schwab. More than half say they spent about 5 hours doing research the last time they bought a car. And then another 39% said they spent about 5 hours planning for their next vacation. Myself included, when I'm looking for a new vehicle or I'm looking up to go somewhere, I do my research. But, when this statistic came out that a lot of people just don't put in the time to either understand their 401k, to understand the implication, understand the market risk, they're following traditional wisdom or advice, water cooler advice, I call it, it can be troubling and problematic. So, what can and should we be doing? That's the purpose of this call, is how can we have a stress-free retirement? So, I've shown this slide before when I was doing my Social Security workshop. So it bears repeating, because what we really should be focused on initially, like if you said, hey, what's the first step? As we transition, we need to know what our expenses are, either for shelter, and I always say it costs to sleep indoors, right? That, food, obviously we have to eat, monthly, weekly. Are we going to the grocery store? Are we dining out? What are we doing? Clothing, medical, transportation, those are the absolute must, right? They're the core. Then the rest of it, retirement is not about counting your pennies, right? This is about enjoying a lifestyle. You've worked hard during the working years to be able to turn around and to spend it with those that you care about, your loved ones, in traveling, grandkids, visiting friends, whatever your circumstances are. So that's where the travel, the second home, maybe starting a new education, golf. And I'll say this, once you retire, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to play golf when I retire. But, having dealt with a lot of retirees, you can only play so much golf, right? And then you start going, yeah, that was good for about 6 months. And, but now you need something else to do. So, all of these things are things that should be part of our consideration. And once we know what income you possibly, or you absolutely must have for needs and for wants, then what we're going to look at is what are our sources of income? And this is really, again, the crux of the matter. Do you have a pension? Remember, pensions are for most are a unicorn, right? 401ks and IRAs, which is what everybody's done, right? Because that's what corporations have done, is they've shifted the responsibility from them and rewarding employees with some type of lifetime income for working, putting in 25 or 30 years with them. They've now said, hey, you go ahead, squirrel away cash and you're on your own. Good luck, right? Your investment portfolio, right? So how's that performing? And, in today's market volatility, it's got to be unsettling. Real estate, everybody's the next hot tip. And in case you haven't heard the news, the last hot tip was FTX, and that guy's in jail, right? So, it's crazy how people think that trying to swing for the fences and investing in this new technology has done nothing but gotten people broke, right? Money was stolen, absconded with, right? And, whether that be, last time, a little over a decade ago, it was real estate. Everybody was saying, I'm buying real estate, we're flipping it, we're taking old houses. And, even if you do have a real estate portfolio, right? How much of a landlord do you want to be in retirement at 70, 75, 80, getting that phone call at 2:00 in the morning, right? Hey, my water heater broke, my windows cracked, my plumbing's leaking, right? So all that stuff is just, this is the stuff that the person giving water cooler advice typically doesn't share with you. Annuity products, Social Security, those last two, so the one on top, pension and annuity and Social Security, those are the only things that can guarantee income. All the rest of that is speculative. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to go in too much into the risk because I've been over this before. Longevity risk, that's just how long are we on this planet for. The longer we live, the more we have the likelihood of this other risk: inflation, volatility, survivorship, taxation, right? There's a myriad of risks, not just that it happens once, but multiple times over a period of time. But, on average, the accounts for 30% of retirees' income is Social Security. That's really what you have to think about, is that maxing out your Social Security and how to utilize this return that we've contributed to our system, and making sure that we have, sometimes it makes sense to take it at 62. But other times, full retirement age could be anywhere from 65 to 67. Most people on this call, it's 67 plus, right? 67. And the government, people are concerned, oh, I don't know if Social Security is going to be there. It'll be there. For anybody on this call, it'll be there, right? In the future, though, the government's going to have to balance the books, right? Because this is an unfunded liability, and people are living longer. And so they're going to have to recalculate it. And there are adjustments that they can make. But once you've started to tap into it, you're assured that you're going to get your money, bar anything, catastrophic or cataclysmic happening. So there is a tool that I wanted to share with you. Going into 2023, if I've not done this for you before, there's a tool that we have on our website. It's called 9to Know. If you have a phone, right now on the screen, if you want to take your phone, bring up your camera, and you want to take a picture of this right here, not a picture, actually, it'll just like if you were taking a menu at a restaurant, you can click on that. It will bring you to my website, and it will actually allow you to answer the 9 questions. These 9 questions are really an avenue that will allow you to start to, on a high level, predict your future. Then if you'd like to go a little deeper and have us take a look at it, you can reach out to us, right? You can say, because you say, hey, listen, you're going to put in some data there. We'll ask for your address or your phone number, your email address. And the reason is because I'm going to send you a book. If you want a book, and that's going to be on the next screen, I'm going to play a video here shortly. But one of the things that just became available is this client portal. And what this allows you to do is take the information based on those 9 questions and improve upon it. And you see these tabs up top. Now you won't have on your version, when I share this with you, you only have 7 of them. I won't tell you the last 3, but it will take your income. It will take your assets. It will take your expenses. We'll be able to do a deep dive. And then ultimately, we'll be able to see, do we have a red line? This is an amazing tool that I've been able to utilize with my clients to help them to make sure that they're being efficient along the way. If you want to see what this might look like for you, like I said, at absolutely no cost or obligation, you're inputting the data, then we can have a conversation to say, hey, you know what, I'd like your help in making some adjustments, right? So I'm going to play Patrick Kelly. Patrick Kelly is a leading author, and he wrote this book, but I think what he says here is really profound. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, and then once he's done, we'll show you the offer.
Hello there. My name is Patrick Kelly. I'm the author of 7 national best-selling retirement books, which together have sold over 1.2 million copies nationwide. One of those books is this one entitled Stress-Free Retirement. Let me ask you a question. Can you name any financial product that can provide the potential for a 5 or 6% average annual return that has 0 market risk? Does anything come to mind? Very likely it doesn't, because most people don't know something like that even exists, but it does. And this book will show you exactly how you can do that. And better yet, in most cases, you won't pay a single penny in annual fees or management expenses. Think about that. Safe, inflation-beating returns with 0 annual fees. That's like putting an insurance policy on your retirement savings without giving up the potential for growth. That seems almost too good to be true, but fortunately it's not. It's real, and it's quite easy to put into place. Hundreds of thousands of individuals participate in this strategy every year, and this book, Stress-Free Retirement, will show you how you can as well. Now, just so you know, this book retails on Amazon for $14.95. But the reason you've been sent this short video is because you're going to be receiving it completely free, no strings attached. The reason for this is because there's an individual who both cares about you and understands how these strategies work. Now, let me tell you, you're very fortunate, because most individuals don't have someone who's looking out for their financial future. Now, I know we all lead busy lives, and while I think you'll enjoy the entire book, I urge you, if you care about your financial future even a little, please do yourself a favor and commit to reading at least the first chapter. It's called The Poker Chip Mentality, and it's only 6 short pages. I promise you, you'll be glad that you did. And after you do, if the idea of protecting your entire nest egg without giving up the opportunity for growth appeals to you, please call the individual who gave you this book. I know they would love the opportunity to show you how this could play a significant role in your successful retirement. Thanks for letting me take a moment of your time. I wish you all the best for your financial future.
So, that's Patrick Kelly, and no smoke and mirrors, no strings attached. If you fill out that 9 to know, because what that does when you fill that out is it gives me your address. I have a copy of it right here. I'll go down to the post office, throw it in the mail to you. And like I said, the only thing that I request, just like Patrick asked, just read that first chapter. If that doesn't get your attention after that, then, that's okay, right? No harm, no foul. But I do believe that helping people protect what they have, right, really is why I've been doing this for 30 years, is because as a fiduciary, my job is to make sure that I educate the public, help you to understand what your options are, and then make the best choices for your specific circumstances. So lastly, from all of us at PPS, Merry Christmas. I want to share with you, this is my family. We were just in Disney. We were able to send out our Christmas card. My wife had some pictures. So but I also wanted to share that I was blessed when I was down in Disney. You guys might recognize him. His name is Josh Gad. He's the voice of Olaf. Olaf, I was so moved. I didn't know, my wife arranged it. It was in Epcot. I didn't know Disney did this, but we were able to go last week. It was absolutely put me in the spirit, but listening to this gentleman talk about Christmas, and to be able to in front of an orchestra and a candlelight procession, really helped me to reflect back on how fortunate and blessed and, important this time of year is, right? We're so caught up quite often in all the things that are going on in the world. The spirit of giving, the spirit of helping one another, to being a kind human, to being good people, right? There's a lot of, the news has us all like worked up, right? There's a lot of, agony and suffering in the world, but right now we can really just make sure that we're helping and sharing this time with our loved ones. So I really wanted to say Merry Christmas to you all. And then lastly, there's no call until January 12th. This is our last call of the year. I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. But the last thing I want to ask all of you in helping me wish my mom her 80th birthday, right? There she is with my youngin'. She's a few years ago. She lives down in Florida now, but sometimes she joins us on these calls. But she's down there and she's a trooper, and she helped make me who I am today. So from the bottom of all of our hearts, we wanted to say happy birthday and Merry Christmas. So if there's anything that we can do for you, go to that 9 to know, right? Take that QR code, fill it out. We'll send you a book. Reach out, say Merry Christmas, send me an email. Happy to help. If, like I said, we close the office pretty much for next week. We'll see you in 2023. I'm excited about some of the things that we're going to be talking about on a go-forward basis. And there's a lot of things that, like I said, we're going to be getting into the trenches on everything. Some of the stuff that is typically confusing, whether that be Medicare, Social Security, financial planning, insurances, whatever it is, right? We're going to be doing a little bit of deep dive on this stuff. So again, this is our contact information. But again, from all of us at Professional Planning Services, Merry Christmas. And I wish you and your families very well. And again, if you need us, reach out.